Townsville at the turn of the century was a small town. It was really settled in many respects as a port with very little communication from other parts of the state. If you wanted to go south to Brisbane, you would have to go by ship. No trains and of course no aeroplanes in those days. But with a port that was obviously very busy, it did keep us in touch with the world. Also, the town wasn't very widespread. It was the inner suburbs, such as what we now call South Townsville, West End, Hermit Park. And obviously, horse and cart was the way of getting around or riding. There was an example of a penny farthing bicycle in 1895, so the odd student might have come to school in a bicycle. As far as life was concerned and entertainment, I know that the boarders used to go and chase goats on Castle Hill on the weekend. Since 1893 we've had boys and girls, but they were only boy boarders and the girls were all local students. And if you look at their dress at the time, they had to walk. You can imagine what it was like when they were walking to school, those heavy dresses. And I gather they also had to wear gloves on occasions as well in our climate. The cyclone that had the biggest effect on the school was without doubt Cyclone Leonta in 1903. There were 4 members of staff. The headmaster had just come out from England, he'd only been here 2 years, and the other 3 staff members were all from the south, so none of them would ever have experienced a cyclone. There was no Met Bureau advice or radios in those days, so every student had come to school on that morning. There were 6 girls in the school at the time and about 37 boys. According to eyewitness accounts, the noise started to get very loud. Approximately 11 o'clock, the storm came from the northwest and it hit the school. And in hitting the school, it destroyed the gymnasium totally. The gymnasium was never seen again. Nobody knows where it went to. The chemistry block was badly damaged, lost its roof. The laundry had its roof taken off, as did the school dining room. The main school building, which is now called Schoolhouse, was then reported to be flying over what is now Queen's Park, so going in that direction. The records also say that Melton Hill and Stanton Hill houses were seen to have their roofs blown off. I met an old boy of the school, Arnold Duffield, who was a pharmacist in town for many years in the 1980s, and he told me that he could remember corrugated iron being taken over Castle Hill as a consequence of that cyclone. When the wind changed and came back at 1 o'clock from the southeast, it destroyed part of the General Hospital, which is not quite close to where the old hospital in Townsville is now, but it destroyed Harvey Ward and 6 people were killed when that ward collapsed. It also destroyed the School of Arts, which was close by, and I gather it took a lot of roofs off hotels and business centres in Townsville. The written record says that within a few hours of the cyclone passing, it became a cacophony of sound in North Ward as people got hammers out and started to try and repair something, so they were afraid that it might come back again, because coming from the northwest and then the southeast, they were worried. So they were trying to get some semblance of their houses in order. There was money collected down in the south. Everyone got together and it was like Yasi. Though the cyclone occurred in March, the new building was built and opened in February the next year. That money that was collected was used to help in the rebuilding of the hospital and the School of Arts. So yeah, obviously there was the community had got together again to help each other.